What made you want to act? Because obviously from that you're doing many other things which you'll touch on, but what was it about acting that appealed to you?
The first time I went on, my sister's older than me, and we went to a school where there was from the nursery right up to GCSE, but they didn't call GCSE in those days. So I used to have to wait for my sister, and she was doing some show for the prize giving, and I used to go there, and I was a critic. I used to say, she can't do it. I was 4. And I just learned everybody's part. And then, I swear to God, it wasn't me. I did not do it, sir. One of them fell ill. And I said, I can do it. And I said, no, it's not your class. But I know it. And I did it. And I got on stage. And I can still remember, I was wearing my brother's blue shorts and a red t-shirt. And boy. And they clapped and they laughed. I went, boy, I like this.
I didn't have any aspirations to be an author or a publisher. I had 2 boys. The older son did a project, and it was a This Is Me project. And you had to make up a little notebook about yourself. And he had a circle on the cover, and he had his face. And it was pinky, peachy skin color, white skin. And I said, is this your project? And he said, yes. I said, is this you? And he said, this is me. And I said, okay, but are you that color? Because my inside was my heart. I said, but are you that color? And he said, no. You know, a 5-year-old condescending, but why are you asking me a stupid question? No, I'm not that color. I said, well, not to worry. When we get home, I got a brown color, and we'll color you in right color, and then it'll be really you. He took it back from me, and he said, it has to be that color, Mom. It's for a book. And that scared me. I had no choice then. I had to do something.
When the idea of being a black photographer was elusive, so you sort of put that, all 10 of you put that on the map. What is your memory of that time?
And I did some images about Hackney, actually, that sort of parallel north and south market. Just remember the opening and how we were left to do what we wanted to do, basically, in terms of what we were showing. I met lots of people that I then came subsequently to know a bit more, or we had alliances with our work, but a lot of that was about meeting people, and socialising and activism were the same. They were the same thing. Performances, music and exhibitions. So that was when I was at London College of Printing.
That sounds like an exciting time.
Yeah, Rita Keegan was in it, and lots of other people. And I was doing drumming and performance as well as showing work. It's kind of funny.
So I've got to add that to the list of the many things that you do now.
Don't do that. It's only since when Europe or countries other than our own that suddenly you become a colour and not a nationality, So that's always a little bit strange. And over years, I've grown accustomed to it. I've learned to kind of accommodate myself to it. But at heart, essentially, I'm a composer. I'm a Trinidadian composer. And I definitely can't take the Trinidadian out of myself as a composer. And it's not so much because I'm black, it's because I'm Trinidadian. Trinidad shaped me, so that's what I am.
I think for Windrush, because everybody's got their story, everybody's got a version of it that works for them. So when I was creating this, I had to really be true to what I knew in terms of my relationship with my parents, my relationship with the information and those that were giving me the narrative to work with. And there's a section in the piece where you see the women with masks on. And we had an argument in the studio about that. The company is mixed. It's got every nationality in the room. I spoke to my mum and I said, how do I do this? And she said, well, they were faceless and they were grey. That's how she described the women. Everything seemed to fold into one, and actually where I went to bed that night, this is where I just thought, oh my gosh, I've been guided. And I woke up the next morning and I started the journey around making the washing line section, and by the end of the day I knew exactly how it was going to work. So that was a guidance, because it had everything I needed in it, no blacks, no dogs, you know, all of that, and yet it still held its own.
I want children who have the same background as mine to value their culture. Because we grew up being told that anything Jamaican was bad and anything English was good. And it's the same thing Louise Bennett said, you know, we go through that because of our history when, you know, and for a long time, if you're being told that over and over, you believe it. And it was only in the 40s or thereabouts when linguists came to Jamaica and found out that this language was a language in its own right, with its own syntax and so on. And so I wanted to let children know that, because when I first came, I was teaching them Jamaican folk songs and poems and things. These children are from all over the world, and there was only one girl who said her mother would not allow her to take part because she was too young to talk patois. And that's the idea they came here with, that patois was bad and English was good. And so if you don't have all of your culture, you're only half a person.
Go back to what is it that you want to say, and then work out how you want to say it. Because I think the landscape will always change. And I think, you know, there's, at the moment, I was saying to someone, isn't it interesting, you turn on the telly, certainly as a Londoner, and you see every advert, one of us is there somewhere. One of us is there somewhere, and you kind of go, them soon come for me, because after a while they're going to go, it's too much of them on the telly. So you're going to get a backlash, do you know what I mean? So what you have to do is kind of go, don't sit on your laurels. We can never kind of go, which is why I'm saying, yes, things are improving, but, you know, it goes backwards and forwards. And we just have to stay on top of it. As a woman, and as a woman of colour, all of those, as a working class woman of colour, you have to just keep, don't ever shy away from what you are, because that's the thing that's going to attract them the most. Always. So just keep going back to that truth.